Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? And it's okay if you can't stay unmuted. I understand people might not be able to talk through the info session, but I'm gonna try to pronounce your name. Brishon or Brishoni?
You can call me Bree.
Bree. Hi, Bree.
Hi, and your hair's really pretty.
Thank you. It's a crochet style. And I've been getting a lot of surprisingly, I didn't like this when I put this in a couple weeks ago, well, about a month ago. But I'm like, oh, I guess the white hair suits me.
Yeah, it's giving storm.
Oh, okay. Yes, right in time for Halloween. Well, thank you for saying that. I might keep it up because I do love a protective style. They come in handy when you are traveling and don't want to bring products or do your hair. Thanks for being here, Bree. I appreciate it. There are quite a few people. Hi, Jody. Hi.
Hi, sorry about that.
Oh,
Had to come off mute.
you're fine. I don't need everybody to be on camera, but of course I'd like to see people's faces. And I know I met you this past weekend. Kiara, Kiara. You might need to correct me.
Here.
Um, Kiara. Okay. I need to write it phonetically. Sometimes my eyes, I think I'm diagnosed dyslexic. Okay, but okay. I'm gonna write it. All right, thank you. So I know when referring to you. Thank you all for being here. I was just telling Bree or starting to share that there are quite a few people who signed up today. 16. We'll see how many people come. But I'm so excited for this info session because I have a new presentation style. So well, you'll see. Well, maybe you won't because well, you'll see. But so far, Keisha is the only person who has seen an info session that I remember before. So, but I'm excited to share the new one with you guys, as well as the new trips. I think I'm done releasing trips for next year. I'm fingers crossed. But I don't know, maybe one or two will come out. We'll see. But for now, this list of 12 is closed. And I'm gonna try my hardest to share information with the group about at least five of them. Well, five, up to five of them. I won't be ambitious because that's really all I have to present tonight. But I'm very excited that you all could make it. I do like to give a little bit of grace. So I usually fill up like the first few minutes just chatting with people so other people can trickle in at their leisure. But I won't hold us up too long because this is being recorded, so it will be shared with everybody who isn't on time, as well as anybody who needs to just leave a little bit early. So anyway, welcome. It's about 7:05, so I'm gonna just get started. I do like to start off the info session just by introducing myself, but also meeting each one of you and letting you guys meet each other virtually. These are people who might travel with, might see at an event in the future. So you will already eventually have a familiar face, familiar voice. Um, that's my bride right there, Kiara. Kiara dressed up as a bride, right? Yes, a beautiful gown over the past weekend was at the Alter Ego Halloween party. Thank you for that. You showed up. You were stunning. You would have gotten my vote because I mean, just wearing that. But some people had like a posse behind them, so I feel like they won because they brought all the people that vote for them. But anyway, we'll get started. I'll do a quick intro, and so you guys know how to follow. And then throughout the info session, I also just pause so I can take a break from talking and ask questions to the group. to learn more about you individually, but also the things you're interested in when you travel and what you want to do when you go places. Because even though while the trips are planned, some things are not set in stone. So, if there's an overwhelming amount of people on a specific trip who like to hike or just want to be at the beach, like we can build those things in to the individual trip. So it's just good for me to understand, the people who are gonna potentially be traveling with Lesbifriends. So I'll start with my name, where I'm calling from, and we'll just do what did you want to be when you grew up? Nice and light, right? Whether you're that now, it doesn't matter. If you want to share what you are welcome to, but just, what you wanted to be when you grew up. So my name is Lisa. I'm calling from Washington, D.C. And I wanted to be a judge when I grew up. And I am not a judge, and I don't want to be a judge anymore. Don't feel the need to like raise your hand. I don't even know where that feature is on Zoom. You can just feel free to talk, unmute yourself, and share that information. Name, where you're calling from, and what you wanted to be when you grew up.
I'll go next. Kiara, I'm calling from Maryland, right outside of DC. I wanted to be a photographer. I am not a photographer. I'm terrible at taking pictures.
But can you take a selfie though?
I can take like the occasional good selfie.
Okay.
Some people like have it down to a science, and I'd be like, no, no.
Well, that's okay. You could just be in the pictures. Even better. Yes, someone else can take pictures of you. Love that. Thank you. Nice to meet you again, Kiara.
So I'll go next. My name is Lakeisha. I'm Keisha, whichever. I am from Baltimore, and I wanted to be a teacher when I grew up. I am not a teacher. I went through school, was almost done, and changed my major. That's how much I decided I did not want to be a teacher at the last minute. So I graduated with a different major. But
Right.
kudos to all the teachers out there because y'all deserve it.
It's good to realize that before you got started and like started
Oh
with
yeah.
kids or whoever the people were going to be that you taught, because
I was at the end. You do your practicum, and I was in like a school for like 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks, I said, "No, thank you. I mean, I can just change it. It won't be that bad," and I changed it immediately.
that's a labor of love, and I'm sure in some ways in your life you are a teacher to some.
I
So
am. Yes.
probably
Yes.
feel that.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. I mean, I know you, but nice to see you.
Yes. Yes.
I'll go. I'm Bree. I'm from Florida, but I currently live here in DC. When I wanted to grow up, I wanted to either be an actress or an Olympian. Um, I didn't do any of those, but um, you know, it was a good time.
Do you like being in the spotlight, or were you just like, is that your personality?
Well, yeah, I did theater growing up. Honestly, I would have kept with it, but I was an athlete. I played basketball like my whole life, so I had to pick and choose because they were both very demanding. And I knew that basketball could get me free tuition for college, so I stuck with that. But do I like being in the spotlight? Yeah, I do sometimes. It depends on the day. Sometimes I wish I kept up with it because, doing that type of things can help you become a really good public speaker. And the work that I do now, I could have used that if I, kept up with it. But yeah, ish.
Well, you're a great speaker on here, and it's not too late. You could, do a class or join Toastmasters, learning opportunities. Yes, so it's never too late.
Thank you. I actually do Toastmasters, and I just started this improv class in DC. Yeah, nice.
Look at you,
Yeah.
fulfilling your dream. All right, and we're gonna get here to take some pictures of us on the next trip. We're gonna live out our childhood dreams over here.
Blurry pictures, some blurry pictures.
Keisha going to teach us some things. Okay, sorry. Without further ado, Jody, would you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Jody. What did I want to be when I grew up? I wanted to be a pilot, but I don't know how I got there, but I ended up being a mechanical engineer. And so yeah, I mean, I fly in planes often. I guess that counts as being a pilot, but I'll take it.
That's cool. That is very cool. And where are you calling from, Jody?
Oh, sorry. So I'm in Philadelphia.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cities. I want to do
Yay.
like a little pop-up trip there.
Ooh,
You know, a little
there's a lot to
weekend.
do.
There
There's a
is
lot
so
to do.
much to do. Yeah. Well, nice to meet you. Welcome to the group and the info session. Thank you all. You guys are such great sports. Again, don't feel the need to be on camera the entire time. You are welcome to, but you could turn it down or off, or turn off for the next at least 10 minutes as I share one of the first destinations with you tonight. I sent out an email a little bit late tonight, so I'm not sure if you received that before the info session or you just had it on your calendar, but either way, thanks for coming. I did share what trips we will be talking about tonight in detail. If there are trips that I am not presenting tonight that you are interested in learning about, please by all means come to another info session. There will be a brand new spread next week. Even if you don't come, sign up for it, and then I can email you the link and you can watch it at your leisure. But you can also ask questions about that trip that you are interested in towards the end of the presentation. So I'm going to, I have two screens, so if I'm not looking at the camera, just know that I'm looking at one of my other screens. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm seeing. Share. So the first, all right, you guys should see a page that says Nicaragua. Can you not, Keisha, if you can see Nicaragua?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great, thanks. Sometimes I use Canva as a hosting platform, sometimes it be acting up, so thanks for confirming. If by any chance I'm talking and what I'm saying has nothing to do with the slide in front of me, please let me know. I'll just have to refresh my screen or minimize it, so it might not, take up the whole screen, but you'll see the information. Just want to make sure that it's what I'm talking about in front of you. Okay, so I'll give you a brief overview of the lineup today. We're talking about Nicaragua, Colombia, the Summer Lamp, Costa Rica, and Egypt and Jordan. These are designed to be concise, but also give you like a little bit more insight and detail outside of just all the information you can get from the website. And also just nice to talk to people. So that's also why I do this, because it's nice to know who you might be traveling with, or I don't like to read all the time either. So some of the information you might already be able to see on the website, but for the most part, I'll try to give you, a little bit more insight into each of the destinations. So Nicaragua, I'm going in order of how the trips show up on next year's calendar. So Nicaragua is first, but before we get into the trip specifics, I want to just give you a little bit of information about Lesbifriends Travel, the company, the group, as well as myself. So this is my baby, right? Lesbifriends Travel. I mean, clearly it's my company, it's my group, but it's also just my love and my passion. I started Lesbifriends. That's always been in the name, but it used to be Wine and Lesbifriends. We drank a lot of wine, we hung out, we did like little meetups at houses. And I've done over 60 of those, right? But it was a group that just started in 1-bedroom co-op in 2011, because I post law school, I was just craving community. I didn't really love going to the club or, being out and about. So I kind of just and it was
So
a
you froze for a
local,
second.
sorry.
I don't know if you're the only one that froze on me, but you froze for a second.
Oh, yeah, you froze for a second. You're back now, but I thought it was me and I was checking everything.
Okay, I can hear y'all, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you now.
All right, I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm gonna check my internet connection. I'm connected. I got 3 out of 4 bars. Let's see. Sender. Comcast will want to be my friend right now, so sorry, I'm just switching networks so you guys can hear me. Is this any better?
Oh,
Thank
you just
you.
happened to freeze. It wasn't like everything just froze. Like you were talking about after law school and then
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna repeat that too much, but I was sharing that. All right, we're back in Nicaragua. And it's about me page. I was just sharing that out of an organic meetup at my house, through an annual ski trip, or nobody really went skiing. We mostly choose and hung out at whatever cabin was rented. But I did several of those trips. I did about 10 of those trips. Well, I'll say 8 because some of them were summer trips. And then a few years ago, I was traveling a lot during the pandemic because YOLO. And people were like, "Hey, how you be going to Tulum 4 times during the pandemic? Take me on one of your international trips." And so I decided to pivot with my annual local trip and do some international trips. So last year was actually the first year that Lesbifriends travel went international. And we did a few trips last year. They were all great. We did Carnival in Toronto. We dressed up. We're in the parade. We went to the Dominican Republic. We stayed in some tree houses. It was amazing. There were some rancholas. And then where else did we go? There were a couple more trips. Sorry, everything's a blur right now as I'm planning these new trips. All I can have tunnel vision. But we did at least 4 or 5 trips last year. This year we did about 7 trips total. And then next year we're just gonna go big and do 1 trip a month. And just expand our horizons. So anyway, I like to travel personally. I've been to over 50 countries. It's closer to 60, but I'm trying to be honest, so I'm just gonna, say over 50. And most of my travel has just been personal. I'm a budgeter. I like to be economical and find the best deal. And I'm good at organizing. So just kind of worked out that I was my friend group's trip planner. So why not? But my friend, the trip doesn't always make it up a group chat. So I created my own group of friends so that I can get to some places that I wanted to go. And I honestly just enjoy creating space for people. So that's how Lesbifriends travel came to be. And that's why potentially you should impress me to plan your one of your next trips, or join us for one of our weekend trips. All right, I know Lakeisha's been on a trip, so you might know this already, but I do like to just mention what makes Lesbifriends travel a little bit unique. There are other great travel groups. I think that, I want people to travel with everybody. I just want to show up sometimes and travel with other groups. And I'm not saying I invented these things, but I like to give what I like to get. So I'm going to make sure people have itineraries that are centered around queer people, as well as queer people of color to make us comfortable. So we might be doing queer things. We might be going to see art that has, made by our people. I definitely, people like to turn up on trips. I'm learning as I just got back from Portugal and Spain, and people do not want to sleep on that trip. So I make sure to let people know that even, let people know where clubs are and the local queer community might hang out. So that's number one. If you are like most of the people who come on these trips, you are a solo traveler. But you might want to save a little bit of money and not spring for your own a single occupancy room because as you know those are expensive. And you might be open to sharing a room with another individual who you're going to get to know anyway on the trip. So I do roommate matching through a survey ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about traveling alone. You get a built-in buddy. And on this last trip, I was even able to switch it up, and we went to 3 different places, so people got 3 different roommates when they went to Portugal and Spain. So you get an opportunity to get to know people on a personal level, but also you're not stuck with that person, right? But I'm gonna check for snoring. I'm gonna check for, are you a morning person? I'm gonna make sure to match people how I would want to be matched. Location specific packing list. So I'm gonna go. I have packing baskets that I just take out of my closet, and I know everybody's probably not as anal as me. So I'm gonna make your life easier. I'm gonna tell you what to pack, give you a detailed list, and maybe even some suggestions you could throw in your Amazon shopping cart. And then sometimes we have theme nights, so it's just nice to know ahead of time. Hey, I should wear, I should bring all black. I should bring, a navy blue, something or other. So we can all be with the group for this specific event. So also we provide that, as well as exclusive event finding and planning. So when we go to these different countries, I like to connect with people on the ground who are part of the community, the locals. I think that's like one of the biggest asks of the traveler. Like, you don't really want to be a tourist. You kind of just want to blend in. And a lot of places that we go are going to be populated by brown people. So we might just naturally blend in. So I make those connections ahead of time and find those activities, whether they're queer or just indigenous to the space, so we can experience that. There's also pre-trip, there's a pre-trip community already built in. So we're gonna do, not only do you have a group chat that starts anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks before the trip, it just depends on the trip, where you can engage with other people who are coming on the trip. But I also have a flight spreadsheet so you can see what other travelers might be. If you haven't booked your flight, like let's say you're not like a year in advance, like you might be like 2 months out, you can see where other people who are coming from where you're coming from might be traveling and get ideas of what flights you want to be on. Sometimes it's just nice to have that community. Also we do a virtual meet and greet info session before the trip to get you prepared and so everyone can meet one another. And also I do specific events for travelers. I'm going to have an appreciation event in January for people who have come on trips this past year and or are signed up for trips on this upcoming year, just to meet fellow travelers, pick their brains, but also get excited about upcoming travel opportunities. And then last but not least, my travel guides. I put a lot of love, sweat, and tears into these pages, do research into social norms, common local phrases, currency, places to eat, places to go. So when you do have downtime on a trip, you're not lost and you don't have to like do your own research. You're already going to have a booklet full of ideas that you can refer to make it the best experience for you. Okay. Ooh, sorry, that was a mouthful. Now, the most important part, we're going to get into the trip. So Nicaragua, and this will go by a little bit more quickly as I describe each of these trips. You'll learn about the state, the place, the things we're going to do, but I did want to give you an overview of the company just so you would have an idea of, who you potentially might be traveling with. And the experience behind the organization. So we are going, our first trip that I'm presenting next year, but it won't be the first trip of next year. We're actually doing a trip to Brazil for Carnival next year. I know there might have been a person or two who wanted to learn more about Brazil. So sorry. I do have an info session that I've already, a few that I've done on Brazil. And if you have questions, I can answer them later, but we're not going to talk about Brazil today. But Brazil is going to be amazing. It's going to be a party trip, just so you know. But we are going to Nicaragua where we're going to be zen and we're going to have a wellness trip and a very culturally immersive trip in March, March 20th through the 25th. So a little bit under a week. You can consider this like a extra long weekend trip. How this trip came about is, how you just be following people on Instagram or they just come up in your feed all the time. Well, I found this space, Apogeo Collective, kept coming up. I don't know, and I feel like people might have shared it with me. But I looked into it, and it's a Black queer women-owned space in Nicaragua. I think the Sarah Elise. I don't know where Amber is, but Sarah Elise, I think she has roots in the DMV, but also in New York. So she went to Nicaragua, I guess had an amazing experience and was like, we Black queer women need to be here, right? Black queer people need to experience this amazing country. So literally started a collective, got a space, and now they host in this space, catering to queer people of color. That is their primary audience for most of the year. So I'm excited to actually have rented out the entire space and then some to just a space for us, brought to us by us for an unforgettable trip. So the accommodations, which are important because we are going to get out and do all the amazing things in Nicaragua, but we'll be sharing this common living space for a week. So it's nice to know what you're going to get to experience. So we actually will be staying in two beautiful guest houses that are a couple minutes walking distance from one another. One of the properties has 3 guest rooms and the other has, I think, 5 or 6. They're consider this like a boutique style hotel. They have pools on site. There's on-site chefs, kitchen access for those people who, might want to go boil an egg in the morning, instead of having potatoes or, the local fare. But this is a beautiful space. All of the rooms have their own bathrooms. So it is like a hotel, but we also have common areas that you typically wouldn't get in a hotel just for us. So we have the pool. We did a wellness trip to Puerto Rico earlier this year. And I feel like everybody was just trying to be topless on that trip. There were so many pictures that I couldn't post. So everybody wanted to be naked, which I'm not saying that is this type of trip, but I imagine, in this environment, we will just get to be free and our true authentic self. So I'm very excited about the space in addition to where we're going. So these are some of the amazing things that we're going to be doing. This is an overview, but I'm happy to go into detail if anybody has any questions about a specific excursion that we're taking. But when we arrive, you do get round trip transportation provided to and from the airport. We'll do a welcome tour of the property. We'll make sure people can get settled in and relax a little bit. And when everybody is there, hopefully everybody arrives between the suggested arrival time between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. When everybody's there, we will do the group will do a sacred cacao ceremony and intention setting for the trip. I find that even though we want to go to the places and experience all the things that the culture has, some of the best memories that are created from each of these trips are the connections that people make and the conversations that people have. So this is something I try to include in most trips, like some sort of welcoming ceremony. And I imagine this would be powerful because we will be like eating from the food of the land, and this is something that a native practice that they do. And then we'll get to eat an amazing dinner on site at the location. On day 2, you'll sleep in a little bit. We'll probably do some like mindful morning meditation, maybe some morning yoga. Nothing is required for a trip too, but I always like to encourage people to get up, try, stretch, So we'll have those options in the morning and a delicious breakfast included before heading out to our day trip to Apoyo Lagoon, where we get to enjoy some local culture and some water, right? Some beautiful scenic water. I can't promise you the picture below is exactly where we'll be going, but the water is good. The snow, it's blue, see-through, gorgeous. Then there's also an optional scuba lesson if you want to, get froggy in the water. I've done scuba before. It's actually a lot of work. But I encourage people to push themselves outside of their comfort zone. So it could be amazing. You might discover a love for scuba diving. Day 3, we're going to do a day trip to Granada, very historic area, and a scenic boat ride as well. Get to experience some different part of the local Nicaragua area. And then we'll do dinner by the water as a group, and then we will do some beachfront yoga at sunset to round out our day. Day 3, more amazing water things, as well as some mindfulness, and nothing that we do is going to be too strenuous because I'm not trying to exercise on vacation for real. But for those who like some light movement, we'll get to do that. We're going to do a writing workshop, some light mindful meditation, writing in the morning on day 5, which you can share with the group or keep to yourself. But also just a way to appreciate where we are in the space, and do some self-work. Then you get some free time. They have on-site massages that you can add on, body surf lessons locally, or you can even do like an excursion off-site and tour a volcano. How cool is that? We'll come together for a farewell dinner, and probably not sleep our last night there. We might have a midnight swim or 2, and then we'll wrap up the trip with breakfast and transportation back to the airport, where we'll unfortunately have to say our goodbyes. So I'm gonna pause after I go through these last 2 slides. Just an overview of what's included, and this is and it's a lot of what I've already mentioned, and I have this slide for each destination, so I might not go through this slide, but I at least want to go through the first one. But these are just like the types of things that are included in the trip. So you get your airport pickup drop off. You just gotta make it to Nicaragua, and then we got you when you're there. Of course, the accommodations, all breakfast and meals mentioned on the itinerary are mentioned. So there will be some meals that you have to take care of yourself. You can order those on site at Apogeo Collective, but also we'll be out and about, and local food is very, very affordable in Nicaragua. So I encourage people to, spend $5, get a whole meal while we're out exploring. And then all the activities I mentioned, a few extra things. I do curate a swag bag specifically for wherever we're going, so you'll get some goodies. That travel guide that I mentioned that I love putting together, And then an on-ground travel, on-ground to make sure everyone has an amazing time. I've already mentioned some things that aren't included: international flights, travel insurance. You don't have to buy it through Lesbifriends travel. I do have like a vendor who I always give a free quote for, who I use personally, have for a few years. They're really seamless if anything happens, but nothing's gonna happen, so it doesn't matter. But you still should get travel insurance with stuff. And any applicable vaccines, which, as I've done my research, I haven't seen any for Nicaragua, meals, personal extras, all the stuff you have to pay for on your own. And then last but not least, if you did want to come on this trip, here are the room options, or the starting prices for the room options. So there are double occupancy rooms. This trip has been out for a couple months, so there are some spaces that are already booked. Unfortunately, the rooms that did have 2 beds in them are already booked. So if you did opt for a double occupancy, it would be a shared bed, which I completely understand might not be that comfortable with a stranger, but it might be. You could just have a built-in cuddle buddy. Everybody's respectful. But you could also get a friend to come who you don't mind sharing the bed with as well, and make your trip a little bit cheaper. If you did opt for a single occupancy, the cost would be up a lot of it more. And if you did opt to do one lump sum payment, as it states to the right, I always offer 10% off the entire booking. And I do have some like surprises towards the end of this presentation, so you might get like a little incentive for being here, as a thank you for being a part of the info session. But I'm gonna save that to the end, so you stick around. But I'm gonna stop sharing this. See if there are any questions so far before we get into the next trip.
Hey, Lisa. Well, I don't have any questions, and I'm actually on the road, so I'm just here just to listen, man, for right now.
I appreciate you, Lisa.
I do have a question, but you maybe answered this, but if you are coming with a friend and wanted to do a double occupancy, could you stay in the same room together and still pay that $16.50?
Yes, that's what that means. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. So the double occupancy means you will be sharing a room with someone, maybe that you know, maybe that you don't know. You can definitely specify that when you sign up, or even after the fact. I just had someone sign up on the Mexico, there's a Cabo San Lucas trip over in July next year for 4th of July. And they want to get someone to come, but they're not sure if they can get someone to come. So they asked, hey, if I sign up for a single occupancy, can I change it to a double? Absolutely. As well as vice versa, But yes, you would be sharing that double occupancy room with someone that you signed up with, a friend, or a potential new lesbian friend.
So
And
quick question to build on that one. If we are looking at double occupancy, but separately, is there a field to input the particular person that you're looking to book with?
Yes, I am so thorough. You might not want to register. No, I'm just kidding. But I asked for all of the information up front because I'm gonna potentially need it, and I don't want you to have to answer 10 emails. So yes, there is a fill-in space where you can put a roommate if you know who that's gonna be. Yes, so that is an option.
Perfect. Thank you.
And if you refer a friend, like if you have a friend who hasn't been on a trip yet before, and they put your name in, I can also give you a little bonus for incentive off this trip or future trip for having referred them as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Stay tuned for the incentives later. Well, not incentive, but it's kind of incentive. Because that's gonna make a difference on the pricing, and I'm excited. I just want to show you guys I appreciate you, so I'm happy to share that with you. Okay, any specific questions about Nicaragua or just in general about trips? Happy to answer them. Okay, y'all are making my life easier. If you think of something later, by all means, ask me. All right, we're gonna get into Colombia. And this will go a little bit more quickly because I'll only be sharing the specific information about the trip. All right. So I know that Lakeisha did not want to be a teacher. But for those people who might have ended up in that profession or might be in academia or higher education or whatever, this is actually a spring break trip, potentially. I tried to schedule this Colombia trip around when spring break was in this area for both higher education, and it's hard because everybody has a different spring break, but I was trying to be intentional with this trip to Colombia. Originally, I was only going to make this 5 days. Then I was like, it's spring break. People might want to spend an extra day and give people some free time. So we're going to Colombia. We start in Medellin, April 13th through 18th, which is around spring break for some people in this area. I have been to Medellin before. I'm very excited to bring a group back because last year I actually traveled with a group called Queer Queens Travel. I definitely like to plug other groups when I can, and that I've had personal experiences on. I've been to a few queer things. And I really liked traveling to Colombia. It was a great first experience with this group. This group took me to Cartagena, but because I was going to Colombia, I was like, let me go to Medellin and Bogota because, YOLO. So I did Medellin at the beginning of my trip, Bogota at the end, and based on the 3 places I went, personally, I liked Medellin the best. The weather, the culture, the people. I went on this walking tour with the cutest gay male guide. He was so sweet. It was like a $15 tour, not 7 hours. It was a 15-hour, 3-hour tour that I found on Viator. Because I only had like a day and a half, 2 days there, and it was great. Anyway, Medellin has a lot of art, culture, history, queer history, which is fun. It has beautiful landscape. It is a developing country, so everything's not pretty, but the people are warm and welcoming, and yeah, it's very affordable. I also went, what is that called? Zip line, nuts. Parasailing, for the first time. I'm holding out my hands like you guys know what I mean. But I went parasailing in Medellin and had an amazing experience for the first time as well. But that's part of the reason why we're going to Colombia next year. But this is a 2-part trip. So we start in Medellin and then we head to Nuquí, and for a little bit of more of like the rural culture. So we're gonna start in the bustling city of Medellin. These are all of the hotels that let me start by saying, when we go to Nicaragua, we rented out the whole place, so that is not changing. However, sometimes these change. I do try to share hotels ahead of time, but sometimes depending on booking, things might get taken. So we will get this hotel or a comparable hotel or better. But I do like to just preface that by saying, because I don't want you to be sold on the trip by just the hotel. I mean, the hotel's a bonus, but hopefully you won't be staying. Hopefully you will be more out and about than in the hotel. But the hotel that I picked when planning this trip, it it is urban, like it is fun, it is like, it is in a great walkable area. It is roomy, has good reviews. Yeah, it's in a vibrant, safe area in Medellin. So this is where we'll start our trip in this boutique hotel. The second accommodation, because even though I love Medellin, I felt like, you know, like it's the city, it's touristy. I wanted to like be immersed in the culture the of Colombia, and I didn't get to experience like beaches except for like the more the things that were more Instagrammable, like the yacht turn up cruises, which are super fun, but sometimes you can go on vacation to relax and just be, you know, one with the land. So I found a really cool eco lodge in Macquee. So we will take a flight from Medellin, which is included, and go to this untouched area on the Pacific coast and experience this eco lodge where all meals will be included. So that's also a bonus to this trip. Like I think you might pay for one or two of your meals, but outside of that, everything's included. So this is an almost all-inclusive trip. Here's an overview of the itinerary and what we'll be doing. So you'll get picked up from the airport. When everyone gets settled, we'll get to meet the group in person and have our signature welcome dinner. We'll do some icebreakers, and then if you're up to it, again, this is a very walkable area where we're staying in Medellin, so you can do some exploring by foot on your own. On day 2, we'll wake up and actually go to the area that's pictured below. It's a very artsy, vibrant, historical area for not necessarily queers, but just like culturally, like the brown people lived here. They, you know, there's a presence here. It just feels good to like walk, to be in a country where like, you know, you connect with people, like just based on, you know, that feeling, the warmth. People are very open and welcoming and accepting, and it helps that, you know, they're brown, you're brown, all the above. So we're gonna go to Commune at 8, which is pictured below. We're gonna take a cable car ride. So literally we're gonna be hanging in the air by a cable. But it's so cool and it's very safe. So we'll get like a 360 view of and as we go up to this skyline area, and we'll do a queer culture and history tour while seeing some art and having some great food. On day 3, we will after a great breakfast and a tour and some Afro-Colombian drumming and dance, we will head to our next destination on a short flight to the Eco Lodge that I mentioned earlier, where we'll be staying and be immersed in a less urban environment. Just to give you both sides of what you can experience in Colombia. So day 4, after we get settled, and then we'll enjoy the night. Again, all meals at this Eco Lodge are included. And it's small. I rented out the whole Eco Lodge just for this group. And we'll get to do an Afro-Colombian cooking class and learn about some local wellness rituals. We'll do some self-care with aloe mass. Massage is even a part of this experience. And so you'll really see how the locals live. Day 5, we after resting and getting a good night's rest and doing some exploring on your own in the more rural area where we're staying, then we will head back to Medellin for an evening where you can do some exploring on your own or probably with the group, because the group just likes to stay together. Sometimes we break off into different groups depending on people's preferences, but back to Medellin, because there's not a lot of built-in free time at the beginning of the trip, and I just wanted people to have one last night to experience, maybe go out and dance after being immersed in the Eco Lodge experience for a couple of nights. And then we will say our goodbyes after breakfast. And head to the airport on the last day. Okay. Oh, wait, I prematurely stopped sharing. I need to know the rest. Okay, sorry. My bad. All right, we don't need to do this because it's pretty standard for all the trips. Pretty much everything I went over is included. Double occupancy for this trip starts at 2,200. It is 2 beds and 2 people in the room. Because it is more of a hotel style, so more options. And then if you did want your own room, Columbia is a lot more affordable. So it's not much of an upgrade to get your own room for 2,700. I do like to mention this, but you get all this information on the website as well as when after you book, I send like a confirmation email. So I do automatically enroll people in a monthly payment plan. Just so they can see their payments spaced out, understand what they're gonna be, all the upfront costs. You actually see this information before you book, so you know ahead of time. But if that doesn't work for people, I'm super flexible, so people can do weekly, bi-weekly, quarterly, depending on when the trip falls. Or even 1 lump sum payment for a little bit extra off. If they prefer. I'm also flexible with payment dates. I understand stuff comes up for people. So if you need a couple more weeks to make a payment, just communicate that, and I got it. I got you. No worries at all. Okay, that is Columbia. Thank you for letting me share that with you. And I'm going to take a break from presenting so I can learn again a little bit more about you guys. We have a new person on, Sandy. I don't know if it's the Sandy I know, but welcome, Sandy. It is my Sandy. Okay. I just couldn't do. You're on mute, Sandy, but that's okay.
Sorry, I worked late, so got on late.
Sandy is a worker, and that is why she needs all the vacations, as I'm sure some of you do. Sandy came back from Portugal and Spain. I'm excited that you are interested in coming on an early trip this soon.
Thank you.
Because Portugal and Spain, ooh, that was a lot of walking.
It was, but it was an amazing trip.
Thank you. Yes, okay. But we're gonna, everyone, this is Sandy. We just did one quick icebreaker at the beginning, Sandy. So I'm gonna take this time. I've presented two things, 2 trips, but I'd like to learn about people's travel styles, where people like to go, things we need to do on vacation. Just so I know if we're on this trip, and I know Bree really is a foodie and wants to go have this great experience at this mom and pop shop or do a cooking class. Like I can try to build that in or give suggestions on that trip to accommodate Bree's style. So we're going to take this opportunity to go around the group for those who want to share. I would love to know a place that you have been that you would actually go back to. You can share why or why not. And then I would also like to know a place, not a place, an activity that you enjoy doing on travel, when you travel. I'll go first, just real quick to give an example. So a place that I have been to that I would like to go back is Vietnam. I love Vietnamese food. So that's one. It's super cheap. The people are so friendly and they're little. So I'm a giant to everyone. It makes me feel great because I'm 5'3". So I like being tall sometimes. Great weather. And then something I like to do on trips that we got to do in Portugal and Spain, and we get to do on a couple of the trips coming up in this info session, is a cooking class. I really like cooking. going to a market, experiencing local cuisine in a different way than just going to a restaurant. Okay, that's what I got. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I only had one trip, which was Spain and Portugal. Absolutely loved Portugal. Well, I loved the whole trip, but Portugal was amazing. And like you, the cooking class I thought was the absolute best part of it. I love the market. I love the camaraderie of us all cooking together and everything. And I love the paella that we cooked. So I loved the cooking class. It was amazing.
Thank you, Sandy. And the funny thing is, Sandy was most excited about Wait, did you like Spain or Portugal better?
I like Portugal better.
But Sandy really wanted to go to Spain.
Yes, Spain was what I was looking forward to, but Portugal was, I loved it.
We had some
Loved it.
really good guides. Like we met some
Yes.
really good local people.
We
Yeah.
did. And the tours were amazing and just learning the culture and the history of the place was really good. But the food. I'm a total foodie, so the food.
And that trip, that Portugal and Spain was not cheap. Euros are worth more than dollars. So I'm excited because most of the trips I'm sharing, all the trips this today are, we're going to developing places. So we are going to eat, we're going to live like kings and queens and whatever you identify as while we're there paying like, we ain't going to pay American prices, which is nice. But thank you for that, Sandy. I'll give you your cut later.
No cut needed. Loved it.
Love you too.
All right, I guess I'll go next, if that's okay.
Yeah, please.
So for me, a place that I really like that I would want to go back to, I would definitely say South Africa, because I visited Cape Town on a solo trip, but I think I would want to explore beyond Cape Town. Like obviously go back to Cape Town for a bit, but also Johannesburg and the other surrounding areas. Wine country was great in South Africa too, so definitely would want to experience that again.
Thank you. And what's something you like to do when you travel? Like, is there do you need to get a massage?
Yeah, I like spas, but I also like to understand the local culture. So beyond the touristy areas to experience the real life, like seeing people outside of, the norm in the US or wherever the country may be.
Thank you. Love that. Appreciate you, Jody.
I actually never been out of America. So,
That's okay.
yeah, that's why
This was my first trip. That was my first trip,
really?
Brody. I mean, Bree, that was my first trip, so.
And okay, that's exciting to know. That affirms me. That's why I'm really excited to do these trips with y'all because it would be really nice to go out with other people before I start traveling alone. But I would say like I'm actually I have my friend on the phone right now listening in. But I know for sure like they said that they would love to see like culture, sightseeing, food, try new different foods. But I know for me, I love nature. So like I would love to just see like just the beauty, the natural beauty that these places have. But I would also say that just trying different things. I know I want to do zip lining over like I just foresee myself going zip lining over like a really beautiful forest. That's what I want to do, but that's what I would say. Yeah.
That's exciting. No, well, I'm excited for your first international travel experience with Lesbifriends or not. I'm excited for you. And it's comforting like traveling with a group before you like brave it alone. But just know you can do it alone. There was someone on again this trip that I just came back from. They want to move to Spain now. Like they made all the contacts. They're trying to live there. So you might catch the bug and figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Figure out how you're gonna work it out. But no, yes, go
Can
ahead.
I just tell Bree one thing? For that to be my first trip, I had never been really vacation and never been out of the country. It was so seamless. It was just having everybody with me. My anxiety before going was like, but once the trip started, it was just amazing. Just having that group of women that was there and the people, it just made it so much more comfortable and so much better. So definitely got the bug now. I need 2 more jobs now so I can afford it. Yes, got the bug. Hit me.
That's so nice to hear. I know I said 2025 is my year of traveling, getting out the country. So I'm excited.
Yes. Lisa, I'm sorry, you don't pay me, but I have to say this. Lisa actually just held my hand on the parts that I didn't know how to do, or I was nervous about, or whatever. So I wasn't, just like my anxiety, and I suffer from vertigo. So the plane, all of it was just like this. But Lisa and everybody there just made it so comfortable and so much fun. So definitely going on more.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you for that.
I don't pay Sandy. Thanks, Sandy. No, it was a really good group too, so we just really lucked out. But anyway, sorry, Kira, would you mind closing out it may be Lakeisha after you, but would you mind sharing your 2 shares?
Sure. So I've definitely done more domestic travel than I've done international travel because my goal is to knock out all 50 states. But international trip that I have done and would do again 100% is Egypt. We did like a 3 or 4 city tour, and it was incredible. Things I'd like to do on trips, massages, spas for sure, but also I like to visit a library. I think like I don't care about schools, like I hope the children learn, but I think libraries tell you a lot about like a community. And I really like to read, so like I don't know, it's a weird random thing that I like to do.
We went to 2 in Spain, didn't we?
Yes and no. So we went to the smallest book shop in, I don't know if it was Portugal or the world, but only 1 or 2 people could fit in there. And then we went to the oldest bookshop in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Books, library, same diff kind of sort of.
Yeah.
But oh, that's so
Bookstore.
cool. I love that. And who cares if y'all haven't traveled internationally a lot yet? Y'all probably made it to more states than me, so I'm jealous and I'm trying to be where
31.
you are. Huh?
Yeah, 31.
Ooh, that's a good number. I didn't count, but I think it's less.
Oh,
Huh?
I said, wow, that's amazing.
I know, that's impressive. I mean, we have so much great things in our own backyard, so I
Basically,
support.
states. Like we have
I know we have so much stuff. I want to do more domestic travel too. People
Me
haven't
too.
people haven't seen the value in that yet, but I do want to do more domestic
I
trips.
I
I'm
do.
listen, especially those random states,
Yeah.
it's the West, that's a good group.
Well, and every state has something
Yeah.
special about it. And that's why I always wanted to do it as well. Because before I got this group, I wanted to do all the state, domestic. And then when I found this group, I'm like, okay, I can do international as well. But every state has something special to see. So, oh, yay. Congratulations.
People who are down for some more domestic trips.
All right,
Huh?
I'm gonna be on it.
So she got at least 2 people, you and me, who are down for some of these domestic.
Listen, hit me up. If they don't go, we'll go.
Not everything
Okay.
doesn't have to be a Lesbifriends trip. We can plan it off ourselves. I mean, I'll book it. Y'all show up. We can cook together. Whatever.
Absolutely. Drop me your info. We'll go. Okay. I'm sorry, Lisa.
No, you're fine. Okay, Lakeisha, real quick, if you would like to contribute, we were just sharing a place that we have been that we would want to go back to and why, if you want to share. And it doesn't have to be international, but people have been sharing international. And then also something you just like to do when you travel, a cooking class, some hiking, you know, something daring, you want to jump on out a plane, whatever.
So, the place I've been to that I'll go back to is Thailand. Long story short, I definitely would. That was I got sick the most there. I sometimes I get sick a lot. Don't worry about it. It motion sickness, but it doesn't stop me from going anywhere. But I definitely enjoyed Thailand. I would definitely go back. It was beautiful. The people were really nice. I enjoyed just their culture. I do a lot. I do international and domestic right now, and I've been on my 1 and 2 day trips. And I do those because I'll fly places just to eat. I'll be on Instagram, see a restaurant, and it piques my interest, and I want to fly that weekend to go eat something. And I started doing weekend trips because I now babysit my baby cousin. So until she goes to daycare, I'm her sole, person that watches her. So on my 2 days I get away from her, at least I can travel. So now I do that. And I have to, like it's my thing to visit an aquarium in each city or each state. I love it. I don't know what it is. I don't mind museums, but it's something about aquariums when I'm fearful of the ocean, but I love aquariums.
Is this the baby cousin you were on a session for when we were
Yes.
being born?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like
She'll
I
be,
know this baby cousin, but that is,
yeah. Yeah.
I think that's so cool that you like to go to aquariums.
Yeah.
But
So our 2 year anniversary coming up because her birthday's coming up in December. That'll make our 2 year anniversary. Yeah.
also invite me to your domestic trips.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
got points.
Oh, absolutely. I am a cheap flyer. And then I'll do, how South, everybody complains about Southwest.
I
Like
love
they say
Southwest.
49. I love it because they be like, they don't never have 49 flights. Yes, you do. You
I
just
just
gotta
got
go.
one today. I got a
I'm
$49
going,
flight to Florida today.
I'm going anywhere to $49 flight. I can end up in Ohio. I don't care. It was $49. I'm about to
Check
see what
today.
Ohio has done.
Check
Yeah.
today. They got them on there today.
Awesome. I'll get on there. Oh
I
yeah, I'm
I
famous for
just
doing it.
did it to Florida.
And I'm learning how to travel with just a carry-on, which is a big deal for me. I'm learning that too. Because I love not waiting for baggage. So I'm just my goal is to make sure I don't overstuff that bag and to learn to live with what I pack. That's all. And not take my whole house with me.
But you don't need it. But
I
I
know.
get it.
Yeah.
We talked about that in Spain, didn't we?
Yeah,
About
we did.
packing too much.
And I'll pack half the closet and wear 3 outfits.
We all
When
had
you do
outfits.
laundry wherever you go, they have laundry services.
Yeah. And I can always pick up something. I don't know why I do it. I'm learning not to though.
Yes.
But then we had somebody had to buy a whole new suitcase to come back.
Oh yeah.
So buying stuff, it's a lot too.
Okay. Y'all are great. I love y'all. Okay. We have 20 minutes. I like to be on time. I don't know if I'll really be on time, but I'm gonna try. Thank you guys. That was a great share. Um, we could talk about it more. But I just want to get through these last 3 trips. So I might plow through, be out of breath. So yeah. Just bear with me. So we're going to 3 more places that I'm sharing real quick. The Summer Glamp, which is a domestic trip. Costa Rica and Egypt and Jordan. So I'm very excited. I'll go as quickly as possible, but also try not to rush, if that makes sense. So we're going to River Mountain, Pennsylvania, which like nobody's ever heard of, nobody cares about. But when you see these facilities and all that this trip is going to be, you might get excited about this local domestic trip. So we all live in everyone who's left lives in the DMV. I think Bree, sorry, Jody, I forget if you're in PA or if Bree was in PA, but
Yeah, I'm in Philadelphia.
okay, sorry. You're in Philadelphia, but that might work in your favor because it's closer than we are.
Exactly.
So River Mountain, Pennsylvania. I actually went here for a retreat earlier this year, like a little yoga retreat. I showed up, there were 4 people on this retreat, including the person facilitating. And I was like, I don't know if this was what I was expecting, but this is exactly what I needed. And it was mostly because even though the retreat was cool, it was the space. The space was dope. So I communicated with the powers that be, the people who own the space, or they're the person who, is in charge of communicating with people like me. And I rented out the whole space. So this was originally going to be for MLK weekend. And then I found out Kamala was running, and I was like, no, 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 hold up. We gotta change this trip date because we all gotta show up for our new president. Vote. This is new political, but vote if you haven't. Which is me. I will be voting very soon. So I changed it to the summer. It was gonna be a winter trip. Now it's a summer trip, but I think the summer will be even more dope. We are going on a glamping trip. But not like your traditional glamping trip. Like we got air conditioner, we got running water, we got all the amenities, we got gourmet farm to table food that's included in this 3-night, 4-day trip. So we're staying in these beautiful accommodations. There are yurts, there are cabins with pods that you can see here in this video. And there are tents. I mean, it just depends if you got a group already or, you're a solo traveler and you don't want to be tied to nobody. You might want to do a pod, you got some curtains, you got some privacy. We ain't never had no problems on a trip, but there's a lockable locker, if you will. So your stuff is safe, but this is going to be amazing. There's going to be 60 queer people on the land in Pennsylvania, being amazing for 4 nights, doing workshops, wellness stuff, turn up stuff, all the things. Really quick, we're gonna go through the itinerary. There's a lot. So I'm inviting people to host workshops. If you want to host a workshop, maybe talk to me offline because I need all the help I can get. I've had cabin trips with 40 people, but this will be the biggest trip with 60 plus people, if it works out the way I'm thinking. But we're gonna check you in. We're gonna do a welcome circle with all those beautiful brown queer people. We're gonna have a community gourmet farm to table dinner as we will every night, which is gonna be specified for everyone's dietary preferences. They're very good about that at this facility. All the food I tasted is good. We're gonna do campfire storytelling, s'more, something slight, and then maybe some restorative night yoga for those ambitious. We got a whole full day itinerary with some nature hiking on flat surfaces, some workshops, some outdoor activities. I don't know if this is the day we're doing our like game day, but we're gonna turn up at night and we're gonna do a glow in the dark dance party. They have some really beautiful spaces indoor and out at this space. So I'm excited about the weekend and all that's in store, but the space is really amazing. So you'll get the best of both worlds. You won't have to leave, you won't have to spend any additional money. What you pay is all inclusive for the weekend. More workshops. This is the day we're gonna do camp games and a field day. We're gonna play kickball. We're gonna bring it back to elementary school and middle school, junior high for folks. We're gonna do some campfires at night. There's hot tubs. There's a natural, I won't call it, it's not a pond. It's like cleaner than a pond. I don't know if I would swim in it, but there, there's a body of water. But I'm sure all the hot tubs will be, very full. This is actually me. Oh, that's me. Wait, no, never mind. Okay, anyway, I'm in this video. This is our Virginia trip earlier this year. Sandy, you were here. That's me. That's me running very slowly. Okay. Y'all already know everything I said is included. This is the all-inclusive trip. Prices for this trip for single occupancy. Again, this is a 4-day trip. Local, domestic, very drivable. Start at $850. I'm literally passing the cost off at what this place is charging. So not much. You do get what you pay for. It's a beautiful space. And you'll get a lot of great community connections, which is, I think, the biggest part. We do have, just to break down single occupancy. These are the pod prices. This is the price for a pod. This is the 12 pod room. This is the 8 pod room. And these are yurts, which are kind of more private. And these are tents. If you want to, if you're not roughing it, but you might feel a little bit more into nature. I'm gonna stop sharing this momentarily just to ask if there are any questions.
So in bathrooms, showers, can you tell me about that? Because I've never been camping, and so but I would consider this trip because I've never been camping.
You gotta go, Kiera. I'm going. It's domestic.
Yes, it's domestic. I'll try to pull up the resort real quick and share that with you. But from what I know from my personal experience, right?
Mhm.
I stayed in a pod. So in a 12 pod room.
Mhm.
In a 12 pod room, there are 2 bathrooms.
Okay.
They're nice, like very big, roomy, spacious. I don't know if it'll show me the bathrooms.
I mean, you could just drop the link in there and I can explore. I know you want to
Okay.
hit places.
All right. Sorry, because but yes, there are bathrooms. You get all the amenities of the regular bathrooms. There are several bathrooms in this resort.
Mhm.
However, but it's not your house, right? Like, so
Right.
it's a big spacious bathroom, but it's shared. So that part. But you have a shower with hot running water. Like it's very, it's forceful. So yeah, no shortage of water. You'll be comfortable. It's glamping. It's not camping, I promise. Like even the yurts and the tents, you're
Mhm.
staying in a yurt or you're staying in a tent, but
Mhm.
you have your own bathroom. I guess that's like the benefit of having a yurt or a tent. So
Mhm.
whereas a pod type of situation with up 8 to 12 pods in one area shares 2 bathrooms. If you have a yurt or a tent, where yurts and tents, you can have 1 person occupancy or 4 person occupancy, just depends how much you want to spend, right? And there's 2 queen beds in each yurt and there's 2 queen beds in each tent. Each of the yurts and each of the tents have 1 bathroom that's assigned to them. It's not attached to it, but it is like a 1-minute walk away. So you can be in the woods for 1 second walking to the tent. Whereas in the pods, you're all enclosed and you're walking inside, if that makes sense. But I put it in the chat. Yay for voting early. So y'all will have that at least. Any other questions about the glamping? Thanks, that was a great question. All right, and then we're overtime with Costa Rica. Costa Rica and Egypt and Jordan, which is one of the destinations that we would return to. Yay, okay. All right, Costa Rica. I wanted to say that this is the place I would go back to, but I felt like that would be cheating because I'm about to present a trip on Costa Rica. But I've been to Costa Rica 3 times. I actually want to live there and own property there. They have this saying called that the locals use called Pura Vida, which means the pure life. I went there for the first time in 2011. With one of my really good friends. Now I'm like the godmother of her son. We like did 9 days. I probably hated her at the end of the trip, but it was like so. It was like we were getting our lives. We were driving on the opposite side of the road with no lights at night. We had near-death experiences. Don't worry, that's not this trip. But
Oh.
the people are great. The food is good. It's affordable. Really, not expensive to eat. There's beaches, there's city, there's adventure, there's spas and like what are those called? Like the hot springs. Like there's so much to offer in Costa Rica. Actually, not this is a different friend, but another friend, the godmother of her daughter, she just moved there with her 2 kids. So now I'm thinking I might spend Thanksgiving there. So Costa Rica is amazing, beautiful, serene, picturesque. We will be staying in a couple of different locations in Costa Rica. The first is in the city in San Jose. Typical hotel, but very nice, clean, walkable area. Very, very comfortable accommodations. And then the second one is a more immersive, so that's an urban experience. This is a more rural experience, but still very comfortable, right? Like you see this, I don't know, it's a pool. I was gonna call it like hot tub, but no, it's a pool. You see this mountain volcano in the background that we will get to have potentially travel to and experience climb if you want to, do some zip lining. I did zip lining in Costa Rica. It was so much fun. And nice amenities as well. And just, built-in hot springs right where we're staying. So Costa Rica, we're gonna get there, do a meet and greet, typical Lesbifriends style. All breakfasts are included. We're gonna do I try to pick something, like a little bit unique. I've never been to an indigenous gold museum, so we're gonna do a tour there. If the group hates it, free trip, maybe I'll switch it out, but I thought it was cool. When we went to, where did we go? Was that South Africa? Everybody bought like silver. No, it was Bali. My apologies. We went to Bali in June and people were so excited to buy like the local silver and the local real precious metals. So I thought that could be fun and interesting this time around. We're gonna go do a culturally immersive experience in a community where we're gonna do a cooking class as well. We'll do a day at the hot springs. We'll have some built-in free time. And again, I'm trying not to overplan trips. So there's stuff that's built in, but then you can also make the trip what you want it to be. So not everybody wants to zip line. If you want to have all the adventure stuff, come with me. We will go zip lining on this waterfall together. I want to go to whitewater rafting. I want to go to zip lining. I don't want to scuba dive, but anymore. But you'll have a partner in crime. And then we'll, have a cultural farewell show with dinner and say our goodbyes. And this is another shorter trip. So not as much recovery time. I'm gonna skip that because it's pretty much the same. So double occupancy is 2,600, single occupancy is a little bit more, and all the stuff that I've already mentioned. Okay. We lost Jody. We lost Jody and Bree, sorry. Okay. Any questions about Costa Rica? I'm gonna zip through Egypt and Jordan just because I need to get better with timing, guys. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay. All right, last but not least, and I work from home, guys, so if you want to just email me, text me, call me, I'll answer all the questions tomorrow too if something comes up. So, Egypt and Jordan. All right, I went here. I graduated from law school in 2010. This is my graduation trip to myself. Went to Israel, Egypt, and Jordan. Guess what my favorite place was out of all three of them?
Jordan.
It was Sandy, and we didn't even talk about this. We didn't even rehearse this. It was Jordan. I got like a few marriage proposals. Maybe that's why. But and was I gay then? I don't remember if I was gay then. But either way, the Jordan felt super comfortable. And so like comfortable, relaxed. I love the culture. Went to Petra, one of the seven wonders of the world. And so I was like, let's do an Egypt trip. Everybody seems to want to go to Egypt because who doesn't want to go to Egypt? And Egypt's still great, right? But I just felt like these places were next to each other. Let's just combine them and make the best of this 8-day trip. So we're staying at a few different places because we gotta get around in a short amount of time because you know a flight to Africa is not cheap. So we're gonna get it all in. So we're gonna first stay at the Royal Great Pyramid Inn. All the accommodations are 4 and 5 stars. I vetted these places. I went back and forth, and I was like, yeah, but it's a nice location, great accommodations and amenities that we'll get here. That's when we're in Egypt. We're next going to Petra, and this is another really great location. We'll be like in a walkable space, very safe as well. And we'll get to like literally walk out of our hotel and experience some rock carved wonders, like caverns, if you will. So built-in excursion right at our hotel. Second to last accommodation. There were a few, I said it, sorry in advance, but this is something, this probably made my experience in Jordan. I got to sleep in the desert under the stars. It was cold. It's actually cold in the desert at night for those who haven't experienced it yet, but it was such a great experience. And this is definitely upgraded from what I did because I was a poor, broke, graduated student. But yeah, these are very nice luxury accommodations. The meals are included because we can't do Uber Eats in the desert. So we will be well taken care of on this once in a lifetime experience in Jordan. And then last, just to make it more comfortable so we're not rushing to get home, we're gonna stay one last stop in Jordan's capital the last night before we depart. Maybe get some city lights on us and these modern digs before we head back to our real life. So this is our itinerary. Y'all get to Egypt and I got y'all. I'll pick you up from the airport. I'm gonna check in, do a meet and greet. And then we're gonna do a sunset at the Cairo Tower, which you can see pictured above. And have a wonderful welcome dinner and meet all of our fellow travelers. Day 2, we're gonna do a tour. So we're going to get to see all the pyramids, get to do all the pose. That was like probably the highlight of my time in Egypt, like doing a little, like I'm kissing the pharaoh, and I mean the tombs and the catacombs and all that was great, but I really did like my photo shoots. Like people will approach you on the street and they'll be like, hey, I'll take your picture, and then they want a tip at the end, just be there. They want a tip, but they did work for like 20 minutes being a photographer. Because Kiera didn't want to do it. Day 3, we're gonna go. Did you send your photographer reference? Okay. I'm just calling you up. Day 3, we're gonna do a museum and go to some other historic sites. Day 4, breakfast is always typically included. We're gonna have some free time to do a Lulu Day. I'm gonna attend this cooking class, so I'll see you there if you choose to add that on. Then we're gonna go to Petra, which is amazing and beautiful and one of the 7 wonders of the world. Then we get to do our desert nights starting on day 6. We're gonna do optional camel ride. I don't know that camels are as exciting as people think, but I think everybody should ride them once in their life. It's not that comfortable, but and then after it's like, go ahead, Sandy.
I was laughing. You said it's not that comfortable.
It is not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But you should do it. I do agree that you should do it at least once.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
How many times do you get to ride a camel?
Yeah, okay.
So we're gonna be moving around these last couple of days, but it'll be well worth it to take it all in, right? And experience some of the Egypt and Jordan, two of the 7 wonders of the world. And I think they've since recategorized them, so there might be more. But like I checked off 5, so I'm just trying to get to the Great Wall of China and the Taj Mahal. I think. The Taj Mahal. Anyway, I'll figure that out. But yes, we're gonna go to the Dead Sea Beach. And just have a great time in Africa, the Middle East. Yes, again, these are some of my favorite. Well, Jordan, definitely one of my top 10. Excuse me. All right, we just ignore this. I mean, don't ignore it, but yeah. Basically the same as what's already been shared. Double occupancy, single occupancy. Africa isn't that expensive, it's just kind of pricey to get there. But if you book far enough in advance, it can be reasonable. Also I do help with flight booking. I am that person who turns on the Google Tracker flight alert. So I will be happy to, report it to the group when I book my flight, when I find a good, something that makes sense. And I do, one-on-one sessions with people who I get it. Flying and booking international flights I have some anxiety sometimes too, because it's such a large purchase and you want to make sure you're doing everything right and you're arriving at the right time. So I'm happy to have these conversations with people. All right. Any questions about Egypt and Jordan? Okay. All right. Yay, now I can share the good news. Well, y'all are the most deserving because y'all sat through this information session. So I'm excited. I have a $300 off promotion going on for November. If you need a couple of days post November, maybe I got you. But I'm really hoping that we'll fill up these trips in November, and these trips are filling up. So I'm hoping that people will get on a payment plan to make things a little bit more easy on their pocketbooks. So I am offering a fall special for international trips for 2025. There's one more trip this year that people can get on. If y'all really want to come to Belize, I got 2 spots left. I could also extend this to you too. But anyway, we're talking about 2025. So yes, $300 off if you book any of these trips, international trips. And again, if you refer friends, I can also use an additional incentive like refer a friend bonus. Just know that, you know, and your trip price also includes, you know, everything mentioned, but also like trip leader, you know, all of that is so you have a seamless experience. That is why, you know, we got you covered on all the ends. But I do this for the love of the experience and the love of the people. And yeah, I love travel, and I selfishly get to travel, you know, as my side business. So, very excited about that. And then last but not least, just want to thank you for spending an hour and change of your evening with me. And Lesbifriends Travel. It is a great group. People definitely make connections and bond. I don't promise love, but there has been love found on trips. You know, there's been marriages made out of Lesbifriends travel trips, friendships, you know, forever travel friends, what have you. Um, so I'm all about connections. I want people to build and grow. So that's the biggest thing for me. So just excited at the opportunity to share the group with you, and I think energies attract and align. And so you're gonna meet good people on the trip because you're a good person because you showed up and energies attract. Right.
Thank
The
you.
end, as far as my spiel, does anybody have anything they want to add, share? I'm open to constructive criticism. Tell me, teach me. I want to grow and be better.
Well,
pressure.
I look forward to another trip. I'll definitely be going on the glamping, going on the cruise, and just trying to decide what else right now. But definitely those two.
I'm
And
Yeah.
also considering the cruise.
Come on, Lakeisha, come on the cruise now. Come on now. Let me tell you, I am all for this group. So don't listen to me. Let's go.
Yes,
Care,
okay.
care. Come on.
I'm not going on no cruise. I'm not ready. Like being stuck on a boat scares me, you see. So I'm not there yet.
Actually, I've done a couple cruises, and
Same here.
they are amazing. They really are amazing.
At some point before I'm 40, I want to consider it. But but no time soon.
Okay, well, we'll see you on the glamping trip then.
Yes, I'll come on the glamping trip.
time for everybody. We'll get you there, Kara, maybe. Sandy was trying to sign everybody up in Portugal and Spain for this. I was like, Sandy, people are gonna think I'm paying you. Stop.
No, you know what? The thing is, I have so much fun, and I'm starting later for my travel and all of that. So, and I've been to quite a few of Lisa's events and everything, and just the camaraderie and the feeling of being with like-minded women and everything is
Mhm.
just so amazing. So I want everybody else to experience it. So,
No, I appreciate that. Cruises can be fun. We'll get you there, Kara. We'll get you there, but no rush.
no kids, Kira. I'm telling you, this is the cruise.
This is the cruise.
This is it. Let me tell you, Richard Branson doesn't skip on anything.
I'll think about it. But the trip not related. I mean, unless Lisa's gonna throw in another trip that she's gonna plan. My goal for next year is Belize. As far as international. I'm not, and then my guaranteed states for next year are Wisconsin and Mississippi. Then I gotta
Okay.
go to Dallas. I gotta go to Dallas.
Oh, I've been to Dallas. Dallas is nice.
Oh, me too. But I'm going back for the Leather Fest, which I enjoyed last year. So,
Oh, so we have to
so
talk then.
okay. So those are the trips that I had that already like in my mind to happen.
Isn't the group going to Belize, Lisa?
It's
Well,
this
that's this
December.
year, but
Oh.
if this year is a success, which I'm hoping it will be, then potentially we can up, you know, like just make next year's trip better. Also, I'll mention this to you, Kira, because Sandy already knows about this. So I just been preaching in the choir, but I am, so I have a full-time job. This is just a
Mhm.
passion project that I love.
Right.
I can't go on all these trips. I need my student loan forgiveness. I work for the federal government. I need them to pay off my loans in a couple more years. So I can't take all these vacation days that I don't have.
Right.
So I just started a trip leader program. It is open to anybody, but for people who have been on Lesbifriends trips before and understand the culture and what it might require to be a trip leader, they might get like a little bit of a leg up, if you will. So, I will be rolling that. I mean, it's already available for people to apply for, but I'll be announcing it in December. So
Okay.
if you are interested in a trip leader position, like you get to go on a trip, you don't have to pay to go on the trip. You might gotta get yourself there, but I
Right.
got you and I got the support all throughout. So, there's opportunities to travel for, without a big overhead involved.
Okay.
Like you work together, you have a support system throughout the entire process. So Belize might be one of those situations because Belize in December is actually the first time I'm using a trip leader.
Okay.
I will not be going on that trip. I'm trusting someone else to run that trip. I think they'll be great. They've been on a few trips, but yeah, so yeah, just know that there might be options for working together, collaboration, all that jazz.
Oh, nice. Absolutely. Listen. Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good. Yay. All right. Oh, you guys have been great.
No, you've
I
been
will
great.
leave
This was great.
you. I do have to pee because I've been drinking all this hot water.
No, that's fair.
In my teacup. Any last questions? I do send a follow-up email, so you'll have the code, the link, if you want to watch it again, share it with anybody, whatever. You'll have all of that, but I'm always down to answer any questions, take suggestions. Like this is a team effort. Like I don't do it alone. I got help because because I'm not really Superwoman. I just think I am. That was my costume. Okay.
What?
All right, I'm gonna pee
Thank
because I need to
you.
stop laughing.
Yes. Bye.
Thank
Have
you,
a good night,
Lisa.
ladies.
All right, have a
Until
good
next
night.
time.
Good
Okay.
night.
Good night, Lisa.